What's going on, Willis, my brother, Robin? Well, y'all out there in the game? Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show when people at 9. That's right. It is the Sinclair Show on WBISLP. Awesome Radio 106.9. It is the hottest station in the Carolinas where we are prime time and the clock says it is 8:01. First, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions and comments to sinclairtalk@outlook.com. We're going to continue to address as many as possible each night we're on the air to reach you, the valued listener. The Sinclair Show is an interactive show. What does that mean to you? That means you can call in at any time, 252-756-2008. To be a part of the conversation with the big homie. All right. Now, let me say this. Some of y'all right now, you're on the highway, almost home, sitting in your yard. And you're saying to yourself, Sinclair, I don't want to miss not even a smidget of the show because it's too important to me, because it's important to you. Well, let me tell you what you do. If you got an Android phone, all you got to do is go to Google Apps, click on it, type in the Awesome Radio. When their logo pops up, you click on that, let it load up. A few minutes later, poof. You're going to have the sounds of Sinclair soothing your ears. Just that's how I get down with you. Now, some of y'all that got the iPhones, don't worry about it. All you got to do is go to Safari or Google Chrome, wherever you hang out at in these internet streets, if you will, and type in www.wbisawesome.org. Hit the stream tab, give it a few seconds, and you too can be shimmy shaking with your boy Sinclair. All right? Now, some of y'all can't take your phones in the house. You didn't got in so much trouble. You didn't got caught. Oh man, what is the word that Dre used today? With some, I can't even remember it, but that's why I don't remember that word. Yeah, you done got caught on the side with your scrizzle piece. I'm gonna tell y'all what that means at some point. But anyway, so you can't go in the house with your phone because every time you got your phone to your head, your old lady or your old man feel like you in there double dipping on the romance. It's okay. This is what you do. When you get in the house, get your laptop out. Okay, get your laptop out or go into that big box that you still got in your room that all you know how to do is get on the internet. Yeah, the computer. All you got to do is type that in, right? Type in go to the internet, type in www.wbisawesome.org. If you got some speakers or some headphones, preferably to the speakers, let it play out throughout our house. Maybe you will hear me say something that you've been wanting to say to your old lady or your old man, and I can take the weight off your shoulders because these shoulders I got is broad. All right, I'm just telling y'all what the deal is. So fast forward past that. Some of y'all just listening is not enough. You want to be a part of the visual experience. Okay. Let me tell you what you can do. First of all, you can go on to Facebook. Now I know some of y'all saying, well, Sinclair, I don't have Facebook. Stop lying, people. You know the same place where you let people dive into your DMs and be talking slick out the mouth to you and sending you them fake pictures? That's the same location you can locate your boy at. Now, I ain't in your DM yet, but I can be. All you got to do is give me that address. Poof. We'll start sending you. You are welcome to come to the Sinclair Show. How about that? All you got to do is go to Facebook, type in the Sinclair Show. That's SINCLAIR Show. You're going to see a little heart. The heart looks like that. You know what that means? That means that I love y'all sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Because a lot of y'all about that foolery. And I ain't getting down with the foolery because I'm a serious guy with serious things to do with my time. How about that, people? Now, I'm going to tell you what I like to do. For those people who are out there in social media world, Facebook world. Now, let me tell y'all something. Maybe you really don't have Facebook, but you want to get the visual experience. You can go to YouTube and go to The Sinclair Show on YouTube. Scroll down till you see your boy smiling. What's up? And you're going to catch some of these episodes. We take and upload them out there to YouTube on our YouTube channel so YouTube can get in. And when you catch them on your YouTube, sign up so it'll let you know when we all out there. And then tell a friend that we on and popping on YouTube, Facebook. Matter of fact, y'all don't keep playing with me till one day you're going to come home and I might be doing the show from your house. Peekaboo. Looking in the window like old stalker. Some of y'all get excited when I say that because y'all some stalkers. But it's all right. Let me tell you what I like to do first of all. Let me go out here and recognize my homies that's already out on Facebook. Okay. First of all, Robin Williams was the first person out the gate. Robin, you're going to mess around and get a gift one day. Then there go my brother Willis. What's up, Willis? We on the run again. Then there go my mama. Hey, mama, what you doing? There go Essie Shepherd. What is going on with the armor bearer? Supposed to be watching my back. Yvonne Ralston got, y'all notice Yvonne really only come on early on Thursdays. That's when she ain't got some other spiritual activities going on in her life. I see April Gray, the arch nemesis, she's out there. There go my girl, Courtney Barrow. What's up, Courtney? Courtney, you been behaving yourself? Gotta ask that question. Because I done noticed a lot of people, you ask that too, they be like, yeah, I've been doing good. No, you ain't. Stop lying to the public. Valerie Strayhorn Harris, what's going on? I see you becoming a regular. You too might get a gift one day. There go Jay Dizzle, Johnny Key. What's up, man? I heard you been out at school trying to learn a few things. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a little education. James Key, what's up? I know he ain't doing it, but keeping up what's going on football. But we're going to give him credit for joining in from time to time. And there go my girl, Lisa Marie. What's up, Lisa? Hugs for everybody tonight. We got things to do. Camille, you want to say anything to the people before I got to get to work?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. It is a blessed day to be here. We have had gorgeous weather here. We want to keep the people in Houston and Texas areas in our prayers as they are dealing with a lot right now. But again, you know, today is Thursday. I have a lot going on here in these letters. So I'm going to give it back to you so we can keep going.
Let me see. First of all, let me tell y'all something. Now, y'all know I like to keep up with the news, all right? I got to stretch my wings on this one. I know every now and then I be trying to find some other stuff to talk about. But my boy, 45, always is the gift that keeps on giving. Why, I looked at the news right before I came on air, right? He talking about he done called over to the Justice Department and told them, hey, look, I know the whistleblower done put some intel out on me, but I want y'all to hold it back. Don't tell Congress, because I think it's much to do about nothing. So he got some more controversy going on. Somebody need to help your boy, Mr. Orange himself, because he having a bad week this week. But everybody, let's move on. Now, let me say this, people. Everybody take a deep breath. Okay. Release. All right. Now it's time to get. Now see, Valerie, why you got to use the word, the big O word? We don't know that just yet. Just let them do their thing. All right, cool. Go on in the mailbag now. Are you going back to last week's?
Well, I'm going to start with a letter that kind of goes back to that.
All right, people. So I'm going to have to make this first answer kind of long. Go ahead and read the letter.
It says, Dear Sinclair Show.
That is here.
I want to tell you and your listeners who say they will not do a sister-wife in their homes and judge, you all are fake and phony.
Who is y'all?
That's what they say. Last year, B. Smith's husband was thrown under the bus because she had severe Alzheimer's and he had refused to let her to leave her, even though most days she may not even remember who he was.
Okay.
He was then faced with the option of putting her in a home and or something worse, decided he would care for her.
Okay.
He does that and found someone that allows him to still feel human. His girlfriend helps him care for B, and apparently it's working for them. My question is for some of these haters who would walk away from or leave their husbands or wives in the corner facing the wall and go do whatever they want anyway. Why are they hypocrites?
Hypocrites.
Some of y'all out there sleeping around on your spouses anyway, so why not keep it real and put the cards on the table?
Y'all tripping.
How many of you would rather your spouse be put away or let them have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Sinclair.
Yes.
If Camille had Alzheimer's or dementia
I gotta get in
and
this.
was still fairly young, not on her deathbed, didn't know you half the time, would you put her in a facility, creep out and cheat, or consider having a relationship and staying with your wife and caring for her like a dedicated husband? Keep it 100, bro. Signed, Samuel.
Wow, Samuel, why you gotta come at a brother putting me in the midst of your controversial concepts? Why is it that all... Now, see, Lisa talking about careful. Now listen,
That's
people.
right, Lisa.
First of all, let me go ahead and break this down to the 10th power, you see. Here's the most honest answer. I don't judge people. Let me say this. I got what I spiritually believe in, right? And I think that sometimes we misconstrue somebody else's faith and belief and understanding for our own. Me personally, I know what I believe in, okay? And so there's a direct correlation to what I believe in and how I more than likely would act. Now I'm gonna say that with this caveat. Most of us don't know what we'll do in a situation until we get in that situation. Let me start off by saying that. But let me give you my spiritual and my clear state of mind perspective right now. I believe, not necessarily for the same reasons you do, that when you look at your actions, my personal actions will be guided by what my concepts and thought are personally, okay? Now, I believe when you talk about spiritually, you're talking about the intent of a marriage being between a man and a woman, just two individuals, all right? Matter of fact, there are a dozen or more scriptures that you could quote that talks about the unity becoming one, if you will, whatever, all right? That guides my principal, personal, and spiritual beliefs, all right? Now, here's the thing about it, though. When you look at it from that perspective, if I was in B's husband's situation, now I'm answering it from a different perspective. I'm answering it from a perspective of that I've never been involved in. Okay, the author Samuel asked two parts to this question. Sinclair, if Camille was fairly young, not on her deathbed, but dealing with Alzheimer's and or dementia to a point where she didn't know me half the time, okay, how would I respond in that situation? I would like to say, with all level of sincerity, if I answer the question now, I would like to say that I would handle that situation and just deal with it, but we don't know. Okay, let me tell you what I am a firm believer. Because I've had some experience operating in assisted living facilities and places like that, I can tell you what I would not do. I ain't gonna never put my mama in no assisted living facility, my dad in one, and I ain't gonna put her in one. So I can say that because I don't have the highest level of confidence that everybody that works in there feels the same way about care that I do. Okay, there's a part of me that believes as long as I am physically capable of being the primary care provider, that's my responsibility. Okay. I cannot say, and I would be speaking ill of, and I don't even know what B's husband name is, but I would be speaking ill of somebody that I've not walked in his shoes. Now, I don't know how long he's been dealing with it, and I don't know what pressure he has on him personally. I can imagine as a counselor that there's an extended period of time when you can potentially feel like you are isolated or living in a silo if you are living in a home with somebody who doesn't know that you are there or doesn't recognize you when you come in. I can imagine that there are probably quite a few lonely spells, if you will. Okay, so to ask me if Camille was to fall into that type of medical condition at a young age, would I spend the rest of my life not knowing anybody, seeing anybody, talking to anybody? I don't make it my business to lie to y'all. Okay, I can tell you that I wouldn't put her in no facility unless physically the doctors mandated that if I didn't, she might lose her life because I was incapable of providing her the care and I couldn't have somebody come to the home and assist me with that process. There may come a time in your life when the doctor say, look, to keep this person alive right now, they have to go into the hospital, okay? But I do not believe that I can make the decision to put her in a space just so I could go out there and date somebody, okay? And Lisa says, does the age really matter? Lisa, I don't think that, let me answer that question. And again, I try to keep it real with y'all and get y'all to think about the other side of the coin as well. Lisa, the age might matter. Because if you've been married to somebody, I don't know how old B is. Maybe somebody can look it up and tell me. But if the question is, if Camille was fairly young and she ran into that medical circumstance, and remember the previous part talked about, would you put her in a facility? Would you dump her, make her face the wall, or all kind of little crazy stuff, right? And I know that there are people that do that, okay? Or would you stay there and provide the proper level of care? Reason why age matters, Lisa, is because there are a lot of people who talk and say a lot of stuff out their mouth because it sounds good, okay? But none of us, I'm assuming, unless some of my listeners know personally, if you had a person, let's say you were 50 years old and you were planning on staying with a person, and remember, they describe scenarios by which the rest of her health is fine. Okay? Isn't that what it said? So if the rest of her health is fine And the only thing is she's run into severe case of Alzheimer's and dementia. That means it is practical that she could live a long, healthy life and not know who you are. Okay, look, we got to take a sponsorship break. We're going to come back to this. This is the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. What you got? No, you said.
Most times, dementia and Alzheimer's does not get better. It debilitates. It gets worse.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to answer the questions that they put to me. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know 50-year-olds that have it, but I imagine there may be some. But if you have it at a
I mean, that's typically a full-time job to be their caregiver.
Right. So what they were talking about was sometimes, because they say sometimes people put folks in the corners
and they ask you, will you creep out and cheat or consider having a relationship with you? Or what? How
old is B? How old is B?
I gotta look it up.
Oh, Valerie said B is 70. Spouse name is Dan Gatsby. All right, thanks a lot, Valerie. Valerie, you be on it, man. You must be trying to get you a little J.O.B. up in the spot. Claudius Jones, good looking out. Glad to see you. So what's the likelihood of somebody in their 50s getting Alzheimer's or dementia? Does it happen in their 50s?
Yeah, it can happen earlier than that.
You are back on the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. It is the hottest station in the Carolinas where we're prime time. The clock says it's about 8:17. We already got a hot topic. Oh, Samuel tried to hit me with the letter because he was responding to what went down on Tuesday night when somebody started talking about having a sister-wife type situation going on in the premises, if you will. And so they tried to put me on the spot because they brought up an incident where a famous person named B. Smith. She is 70 now, as I am told, but she has Alzheimer's and some level of dementia. And I believe that this story made the news last year sometime because her husband, Mr. Dan Gatsby, has a girlfriend who I think he moved the girl in with them, and they both provide care for B in the home. All right. And so the question was, I guess this person feel like it was some hypocrites out there, but the person asked the question to me, what would I do? And again, I started off by saying, Raymond Green, what's going on, my brother? I started off by saying this. My spiritual belief is that marriage is between two people, okay, that are supposed to form this union and become one. And that's the intent of it right there, okay? When you ask the question and you provide these additional scenarios, scenario that was given to me is if Camille at a young age were to have the symptoms and or come down with a severe case of Alzheimer's and or dementia, would I walk away from her, do like some of y'all and put her in the corner facing the wall and go out and creep and do whatever anyway, or put you in a facility? Now, I've already been specific about what my personal view is. Here's the second part to that. I've already said, just on my own independent experience with assisted living facilities, I wouldn't put Camille in one, wouldn't put my mom or dad in one, because I know the level of care that I would expect. And so I know those places are someplace I'm not willing to put anybody that I care about. Not that there aren't a lot of good people that work in them. Let me be clear. There are thousands of good people that work there, but sometimes the level of commitment and care that you would want for your parent or your loved one, they can't provide that. And I know how I feel about my folks. Okay. All right. So when we fast forward that, we know that putting them in a facility ain't an option. Right. Then we're talking about the creeping piece. Let me be honest with you. In B case, she don't know if he's creeping or not, because they say most of the time she don't know who he is in the first place. Okay. So I think there's a real fine line between are you better because you lying about what you're doing versus are you involved in a relationship with somebody who you have said straight up to, look, I am married. This is the condition of my wife. And Camille has some experience with people who have dementia and Alzheimer's in a facility type situation. And she's saying once they go down that path, it is very few who ever get better.
Correct.
So the answer to the question as to what would I do, again, not being in that situation, I can't tell you what I would do, but I can tell you what I wouldn't do. I don't think that the type of person that I am, I don't believe that I would want to sit around and lie about it. Okay, because the line about it, like I said, if Camille don't know me every day when I come home anyway, me adding another level to something which is a lie, really doesn't make sense. Okay, would I date somebody else? I gotta say, in all honesty, before if that person couldn't understand that I'm not gonna put my wife in no facility, and the other caveat to this technical piece that Samuel tried to hit me up. Camille, is you Samuel?
No, I'm not.
Oh, because this seemed real box. It tried to box me in the corner. No. The other piece is this: if I've got to lie about something, then the act is no worse than me going out there doing it. And you can't really be involved with somebody, and because from the care that Camille is saying that you have to have, that person needs somebody around them almost 24/7.
Correct.
Okay, so if you're gonna be down with me, if you friends with me or whatever, and I already know that, remember they said the other piece that Samuel threw in the game is that she's fairly young. So if we could be talking about if the average person lives to be 87, we're talking about anywhere from 30 to 40 years. Okay. I would like to say that everybody is just so strong-minded and whatever that for 40 years you could come home to somebody that don't know you, don't recognize you, and go through all that and would never need anybody to talk to or anything. I don't think that's realistic. But I don't think that I would divorce her. I know I wouldn't put her in no home. I know I ain't locking her up. So to be honest with you, would I, in those specific scenarios, probably have a relationship with somebody that would have to understand that I'm not putting her in none of these situations, that she is still my personal responsibility? I would have to say yeah. Okay? And that's just me keeping it 100 with you all. Now, you all might sit back and judge me on that and say, oh, this, and that. But you got to look at what you're committing to as well. Okay. And some of y'all talk about how revolutionary you would be in your feelings and your emotions. But let's be clear. Could you be in the house with someone who does not know you every single day for 25 or 30 years and not be involved in a personal relationship at whatever level with somebody else? If you answer that question honestly and your answer is no, hey, nothing but love and respect. But don't lie to yourself and don't lie to the public, because that's how we sometimes find ourselves judging people incorrectly. Fair enough?
Okay.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Barry Horton is up here also. Good evening to you.
Barry B, what's up?
Sinclair.
Yes.
I am one of your listeners, and I want to get your thoughts on the recent serial killer in Detroit area. First of all, you always talking about serial killers are white. Well, this guy is black.
Really big.
D'Angelo Martin, a 34-year-old black male, has been arrested.
Okay.
A man has been charged in the killings of 4 women in Detroit. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy said in a press conference on Wednesday, D'Angelo Martin, 34, was charged with 4 counts of first-degree premeditated murder. And 4 counts of first-degree felony murder with criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree.
Okay.
The murders took place between February 2018 and March 2019. Okay. The victims were in their 50s and found in vacant Detroit homes face down with a used condom nearby, Worthy said. The killings occurred on the east side of Detroit. The first victim, 57-year-old Annetta Nelson, was found when a man walked into a vacant house, according to the press release from the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. Her death was determined to be caused by blunt force trauma. Okay. Nancy Harrison, 52, was found in a vacant house on March 19th. On March 24th, officers found Traversing Ellis, 55. Officers were flagged down by a Detroit man on June after he found the body of Tamara Jones, 55, in a vacant house.
All right.
Well, what do you got to say about that? Seems
Really?
like your thoughts about all serial killers being white went down the drain. How do you feel about that?
Wow.
Signed, shoe is on the other foot.
Man, why is everybody putting the heat on your brother tonight? All right, so let me start off by saying this. First of all, we thank you for writing in and keeping track of the serial killers in the world. All right, now, I know I'm going to have to go in the sponsorship break, but let me start by saying this. First of all, people, it doesn't change the odds. The odds of a serial killer being out there and being a brother is really, really slim in comparison to. Matter of fact, like, you know me, I ain't finna let y'all just come at me in any kind of old crazy way. The average serial, 60 up to 64% of all serial killers ain't brothers. They happen to be my Anglo-Saxon homies, all right?
Okay.
Then we got, they say as high as 22% of them are brothers.
Okay.
So you got
Don't lie.
22% might be brothers, 64% almost certainly are my Anglo-Saxon homies, and the rest is caught between my Hispanic brothers and my Asian comrades, and those of you who all don't know what you are and just be putting other to anything, all right? The bottom line is, shoe is on the other foot. Let me tell you, what you said didn't change anything about what I believe and what the facts show. You done looked around and caught one brother in Detroit, and let's be clear now. You got to look up the definition of a serial killer. Matter of fact, look, let me go to sponsorship break. This is Sinclair Show, WBISLP. Y'all done called me a serial killer.
Be very careful when using Google search.
Why they trying to catch me all up tonight? Like I'm a serial killer. And why they don't never ask you no questions?
Love Gary Host.
Oh, I'm the host when it's some old shady question.
It's your show.
I want to know what would women do? What would you do?
About what?
If I had Alzheimer's at 50 and didn't know.
Ask me.
Oh, so that's how you gonna ride with it.
Ask me.
What you gonna say? You gonna put me in the corner?
I'm a
Look,
caregiver. You
look.
might need to go to the corner.
look,
And looking at the wall.
look, y'all heard your girl Camille say she'll put me facing the wall like this. They'll be having parties in the living room.
Sliding food under the door.
She said I get my vittles under the door. I'll be facing the wall. And what I'm trying.
Great. Oh no. No, because elder abuse is something serious. I don't need
Who?
to charge it. Elder abuse.
Oh, she said she be done called elder abuse.
No.
That means I be getting the wrong treatment.
Never gonna do it.
Hey, I'm trying to tell y'all, that's a tough call to be in. And Camille, bare head on the wall.
Exactly.
Wow. So why is it that men like B's husband get talked about, but y'all put men in the corner facing the wall while the new dude in the front eating steak?
Oh Lord.
James Key said, I'm gonna get graham crackers. Let me talk about y'all for a second. You are back on the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9, the hottest station in the Carolinas, prime time, people. The clock says it's 8:30, 29, something like that. Look, let me tell y'all why I'm sitting up here tripping. So, I asked the question in the background, because we have fun when we off the air. Some of y'all out there in radio land don't catch it, but my Facebook homies, they catch it. Why I'm sitting up here asking why they don't ever ask Camille that. Camille talking about, if it was me, I'd be sitting in the corner, in the room facing the wall, getting my food up underneath the door, and that they'll be partying with the new dude up in the front, getting steaks and all kind of good victuals, and I be getting, look, then she got her little fan club talking about put the bear's head on the wall, James Key talking about I'm going to be getting graham crackers and snacks, that's it. People, why is it that brothers like B's husband,
Oh my God, look at what your dad wrote. That's crazy.
I can't even see it yet. Why is it that when brothers like B's husband try to take the upstanding road and say, I ain't gonna put my old lady in a home, I'm gonna ride with her and care for her, and he bring his little, what did Drake call them? Scrazzle pieces in, and they working together as a cohesive unit, then all of a sudden he the bad guy. But Camille gonna make me face the wall, and y'all have been giving a thumbs up and all that, y'all ain't about nothing out there in listening land. That's why I don't play with y'all like that. That's all right, because one day, some of y'all gonna get old. And I ain't saying I'm wishing no bad luck on you, but I can tell you some of y'all gonna be facing the wall. There go my armor bearer. That's right, and come get me from the house. That's it. See, the word announced, I'm gonna come over and turn the house out. Essie, look, come get me out the house. I'm facing the wall in the room, and I ain't got no more graham crackers.
And applesauce and orange juice, according to John.
Wow, even Jay Dizzle done turned on the brother. You know what? That's why I ain't messing with y'all. Anyway, before we left, I had one of my little writers that called in and wrote in talking about the serial killers.
Correct.
And I believe it's one of my Anglo-Saxon homies. And I think they got a right to take a shot at me from time to time. Because a while back when we had some other serial killers out there, I was saying, hey, no, they ain't no brother.
Right.
They done went and found the one creeping around Detroit, and now brother done got locked up for serial killing. Now let me tell y'all, there's some levels to this serial killing thing, because you know I had to look on and get my defense mechanism up, right? Check this out. Come to find out, now all you got to do to become a serial killer is kill 2 people. Come on now. That ain't even a real serial killer. I don't even want nobody on my serial killer list. If you ain't killed but 2 people, you just an angry person, okay? That's all you are, was angry.
And with the definition.
Yeah, I'm mad with the definition because I'm used to my serial killers. They out there hunting you down, cutting your limbs off, tying you up, doing all kind of critical stuff to you. Now, you're right. Let me say something. Maybe they changed the definition so it'll change the odds. Because you got about 1/3 of the people in Chicago would be considered a serial killer because all you got to do is kill a deuce, double deuces, and you dead, and that you on the serial killer list. I think they moving around with the data, people.
Okay.
Because back in the day, a good old serial killer like Ted Bundy, he had to get about 28 of them to make the list. And Jeffrey Dahmer had to have about 11 or 12. And you got to be doing something salacious like snatching them up or inviting them in and cooking their eyeballs and all that stuff like Hannibal Lecter. Let's not reduce the serial killer's good name by sitting around talking about all you got to do is kill 2 people. I think y'all trying to cook the books on us. Because y'all know some of us done got about 1.5. Okay? So I'm telling you, I ain't buying what they're selling on that. But to be fair, you're accurate. The homie in Detroit is listed because he got 4. 4 is above the limit. 2, that's just an angry black man. 4, you had work to do. Especially when these were people that you didn't know. Alright? So I'm just saying, what does salacious mean? Johnny Kids, you drinking wine or something like that? Get yourself back in the game, brother. All right, so anyway, we're going to go and give whoever wrote this they props tonight. It is a serial killer who was caught, and that means that he is a brother that is on the list. He's part of that 22%. All right? That's how you squash something. You don't even make no argument about it, all right?
Okay.
Let me see. The world now said you can't depend on Jay Dizzle. He's a flipper. Depending on who the female is. Man, I'm gonna tell you, word renowned, you done read them like a book. You done caught them like Genesis. Anyway, let's go on to the next level.
Okay, this next one says Sinclair Show.
Yes.
I'm trying to get your view on Tekashi 6ix9ine going into court and singing like a parrot on the shoulder of Blackbeard himself.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this dude went in there and started talking about everything, including his grandma's recipes. How do you feel about someone snitching at this level and him confessing to being in a gang and telling on everyone in the gang? He was also talking about how he was paying them money and giving it to the gang members' families while in jail. Signed, let me know what's up.
Well, first of all, people, why y'all bringing up my boy Tekashi 6ix9ine? For those of you who don't know him, my more seasoned people, Tekashi 6ix9ine is a little rapper who is of Mexican American origin, who happened to have a bunch of colors in his hair, and people was clowning on him for a while until he started blowing up and making good music and getting a lot of money. Well, he decided he was going to join, allegedly, a gang. Well, it ain't allegedly no more because he went in court and confessed to it. And somehow they was doing so much destructive stuff that he wound up getting caught. And when the feds catch you, somebody's going to talk, all right? So let me first break down to my new and more infant friends on Facebook what my belief about snitching is. And this is going to take a second. First of all, every last one of you are capable of snitching. Because we created that term in the black community to make you not tell what you know so that you can be dumb enough to get more time when you don't have to. Okay? Now, snitching. Snitching, for y'all that don't understand. Look at Johnny. He's perpetuating it right now, talking about snitches get stitches. Let me say this to you. Snitching is when you know some information and you share it with somebody else, most of the time the authorities, and because you have provided some level of information, in most cases they will either lighten your sentence or give you no sentence. All right? Now, in our communities, they don't care even if you're not facing any charges. We have perpetuated this thing over years and years that the mere concept of you telling makes you a snitch. And we've made that term worse than the people committing the crimes. That's where we got to take our little pause at. Let me say this to you. I'm a grown man, all right? And I am telling you all with no level of remorse in my heart and mind. You ain't about nothing if you think you're supposed to allow somebody in your community to violate the law, to kill people, to break in houses, to rob little old ladies, to rape folk, to molest kids, and you ain't supposed to say nothing even if you saw it, because then you a snitch. Who you think you talking to? You can't tell a grown man what not to say. I'm supposed to let you and your crew terrorize my neighborhood because I would rather allow you to do that than for me to stand up and man up and tell the truth about it and get you off these streets? Come on, people. How dumb is that? And let me say something to you, Black America. Y'all the homies. Y'all my people. But how we mad at police for shutting up and having a quote unquote a code blue or blue code where they don't tell on each other when we doing the same thing out here in these streets? Half of y'all got at least one loved one who has been murdered and killed or raped or molested that the case has never been solved, not because the police wasn't trying, but because you more concerned about the homie down the street thinking you a snitch than telling who you saw go up in your neighbor's yard and do whatever. Okay? Let me tell you something. I don't have no obligation to make you feel good about your own self when you committing crimes. And how dare we put that on our own communities? That's why our communities are down. Our property values are down. We got kids that never recover. We got women that can't get back on their feet because they've been raped and molested and all these things because you dudes that swear up and down you a man, you don't want to say nothing because the homie said, man, if you talk, man, that make you a rat. Really? That's how y'all get down. You can't make me bear that weight on that, okay? You don't want me to tell on you, don't do it around me. Because I got some code. We'll talk about that when I come back. This is the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9, the hottest station in the Carolinas, where we ain't got no snitching.
Attention Android device users, Awesome Radio has an app for you for all of your Android mobile devices. We're in the Google Play Store. Type in Awesome Radio, one word, space WBIS-LP.
Talking about some snitching. What you think about snitching? Oh, you ain't got no, boy, you just ain't got no opinion about nothing, do you?
Click on Download Us Now. It will take you
I'm
directly
reading it.
to our space in the Google Play
Huh?
Store.
I'm just reading the
Awesome
print.
Radio, and we are still growing. Grow with us. Thank you for listening.
You are back on the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. It is the hottest station in the Carolinas. People, we are prime time on the backside of the hour on a 15-minute countdown. And right before we left, we was talking about, because somebody wrote in trying to front on me, talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine went in court and sung like a parrot on Blackbeard's shoulder. Talking about that man went into court and told everything, including his grandma recipes. Look here, let me tell y'all something. And people always want to know, what do I think when it comes to snitching? All right? Let me say that. I've already told you. I'm not down with you committing crimes and me sitting around letting you do them, and then you think I'm going to stack the years up on myself. You must have lost your mind. I'm not doing no extra time for something you was out there doing. Let me tell y'all, for all of you all who are talking about this young, I'm talking about super young. I think Tekashi might be 21 years old, if that. All right? Let me go and put some extra knowledge out there for all of you haters who are talking about, oh yeah, he shouldn't have been snitching. Do you know the same people that's talking about that he shouldn't be snitching? Do you realize that some of these people had actually was plotting to kill him? They was going to rob and kill him. Now let's start with that. So now, would you not tell on some people who was in there trying to kill you? Understand something. The FBI and the police was listening to all of these cats, and you know what they did? When they found out that these guys was getting ready to swoop him up and kill him and rob him and take his stuff and do whatever, they put the man in solitary confinement so that he wouldn't catch the ultimate, right? But y'all thinking he ain't supposed to get on the stand when if the police let you listen to these dudes talking about killing you, and he know for a fact because he was rolling with them that doing somebody in was not outside the scope of what they do. Excuse me. Then why should he go into the courthouse and keep quiet? See, some of y'all looking a little different now. What about all the stitches you supposed to get when you snitch? Do you supposed to do more time? Tekashi was probably looking at somewhere greater than 50 years if he didn't work with the state, with the feds. All right? He confessed to a lot of stuff on himself. So he wasn't just telling on them, he told on himself too. I think he had like 9 counts of racketeering. And I don't know, but 9 is a high number because racketeering gets you quite a few days, all right? So understand something. Again, this is one thing that I have long been an advocate against in the black community, is this concept that you got to let folks commit crimes and you just ain't supposed to say nothing. Now, let me tell y'all the conditions by which I am in support of the keep your mouth shut. Obviously, if I commit a crime, I don't want you saying nothing. I'm just saying. The second piece of that is this. There is an unwritten code, and my Anglo-Saxon homies, you can tell me if it's like that in y'all community, but we have a code in my community that says, if you participated in the crime with me, you don't have the reason to be talking about me. You're supposed to wear your own stripes on that. Does that make sense? Understand something now. Meaning, if me and you, let's say hypothetically, me and Jay Dizzle, since he got so many things he tiptoeing around tonight, let's say me and Jay Dizzle decided, now I would never do this because I'm an upstanding guy, but let's say we decided we were going to violate the law in some capacity, okay? I would never do it, but let's just say, hypothetically, the old me would have, all right? And if me and Jay Dizzle was violating this crime, and maybe I'm a little quicker than he is on the getaway, if he gets caught and he goes in there and they have him for the crime, let's say he robbed somebody at gunpoint, right? If I was with him and they not looking for me and he goes in there and says, well, look, I did rob them, but Sinclair was with me, then that's a different level of snitching because they wasn't looking for me. So you didn't have to turn me in either, okay? That's a whole different thing right there, all right? Now, if I get caught, and they're not looking for Jay Dizzle, I'm not supposed to go in there and turn on him either. Because we both agreed to commit the crime, so we both knew what the outcome could be. Does that make sense to y'all?
Ooh, boy.
So meaning, If they catch you breaking the law and they ain't looking for me, and you go out there and tell on me because you think, hey, would it help my case? See, if you got to ask that means they wasn't looking for me. All right? James Key said, come on, Kobe. I'm just telling you, you ain't supposed to talk about me if we both agree to commit the crime. If I'm the only one that gets caught and they not looking for you, I'm supposed to wear them stripes. That's the code of the street.
Oh, okay.
But now if they come back and tell me, you doing your time, and guess what? Johnny is also looking to kill you. Now all things is off the table then. I can go tell on him because the man trying to do me some harm. And that's the situation I'm talking about with Tekashi 6ix9ine. This young guy, first of all, was never really a gang member. He was one of them entertainers who wanted to be hard, so wanted to have the support and look of the gang. So he joined one, started paying them. Next thing you know, they doing crimes. He feeling himself. They all get caught up. Next thing you know, he's locked up. They locked up. They play him the recording of, hey, look, listen to your homies talking about they about to swoop you up and kill you and this, and that. And once they played that for him, he did exactly what you and I would do. Okay? He did exactly what you and I would do. He went in there and started talking. Because if you facing 50 or 100 years and you stupid enough because of a street code that says don't say nothing, and you protecting the guys that was just on recording talking about we're going to snatch them up over here and do them in, you are an idiot.
Wow.
Okay? Don't be no fool and don't not protect your community because you so busy allowing somebody to give you a fake allegiance to look, just stand on your word and don't never tell. Because them people out there that y'all committing crimes against, they deserve something called justice. And if I let you do something, if you molest a child or rape a lady or rob somebody or break in their house, how long before you get to my house?
Good question.
I'm just saying. Go on in the mailbag with these common criminals out here.
Okay, this one's kind of tough, all right?
What's the tough-tivity in
It
it?
says, Dear Sinclair,
That is
I
I.
was listening to your show the other night, and I am curious about the people who were against these shared household relationships.
Oh, we back on that.
We are. Even from a religious perspective,
Oh,
there
my
are
goodness.
multiple religions that allow polygamy. Islam authorizes it, however, they do not encourage or market it. For example, the Quran in Surah 4.43 says, and if you be apprehensive that you would not be able to do justice to the orphans, you may marry 2 or 3 or 4 women whom you choose.
2, 3, or 4.
But if you apprehend that you may not be able to do justice to them, then marry only one wife, or marry those who have fallen in your possession. Modality, the meaning of Quran. The key clauses are you would not be able to do justice to the orphans, and you may not, you may marry 2, 3, or 4 women whom you choose. Modality is a respected, traditional, and conservative commentator of the Quran. So we should let him explain what they mean. He says that the clauses accomplish 3 things. Polygyny is permitted in Judaism. According to Talmudic law, Abraham had 3 wives, and Solomon had hundreds of wives. The practice of polygyny continued to Rabbi Ben Judea.
Okay, go ahead.
Issued an edict against law. The Jewish Sephardic communities living in Muslim countries continued to practice until a late 1950, when an act of Chief Rabbi of Israel extended the ban of marrying more than one wife.
Okay.
Jacob, Gideon, Elkanah, David, and Solomon had many wives. Mormons and others within the Christian or the Church of Latter-day Saints are accepting of multiple wives concepts.
All right.
Sinclair, what are your views on multiple wife concept, and also from a spiritual perspective, how do you reconcile your views? Signed, Ronald.
Okay, Ronald, first of all, I ain't got but a few minutes to play around with y'all. Let me say this to you, Ronald. Okay, as I've said to you all earlier, there's not a conflict with my spirituality and what I personally believe in. I personally believe that the intent of marriage is between 2 individuals, a man and a woman who unite through marriage to become one. Now, I'll say this for the record. My beliefs and understandings, though they may be the same as yours, I believe for different reasons. Let me tell you why. I believe that God is smarter than all of us. Okay? And I believe that the reason why the intent is that you only be with one is because God understands the emotional nature of human beings. Okay? Meaning that there is nothing that leads us to believe that a person, a woman or man, has the ability for an infinite amount of time to accept being second or split in terms of a relationship.
Okay.
So I believe God knew that long before he even thought about this whole process. He probably said, look, I know they ain't gonna be down with that. So I believe that's why the intent and the encouragement, I'm not saying that these people in the Bible at certain spaces didn't have that, okay? But I believe that it is clear that the Bible prescribes that there should be one husband and one wife and that they become a union because there are some other things that take place. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Now, I am not knocking somebody else's religion. Here's why. Each one of us is accountable for what we believe in and how we live. And it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to answer for whatever it is you're doing. Since no one sin is greater than the next, we all going to answer for a lot of stuff. You have to ask yourself, now, when you look at what they're talking about from the Quran, right? Here's what you got to understand. There is some specific language in there that talks about your ability to provide equally and not shortchange somebody. Okay? I think that eliminates probably 90% of brothers that's out there thinking about it, because half of y'all out there ain't taking care of the one that you got in the marriage that you with. There's another percentage of y'all that certainly ain't taking care of the ones that you ain't with her no more. So you already in violation of what you're supposed to do in terms of your responsibility to care for. So I don't believe whether you're talking about the Quran or Judaism or any of these other ones, they didn't say you could go out here haphazardly and just pick up women and marry them just so you could keep the next brother from getting them. That's not what it said. Even in those cases, they are talking about your responsibility to provide. They even give examples in the Quran where they say, because let's be clear for some of y'all that don't study about nothing. There were times when someone would be married and somebody's husband would die. And the responsibility to care for that family then fell on the brothers. Okay? And so what it's saying is, hey, you don't go out there and swoop somebody up if you can't take care of them equally, whether it's the orphan child or whatever. So I think sometimes we confuse concepts for our intimate or lustful desires to just have more. Okay? As far as the Mormons are concerned, we done heard about what go down in Utah. Again, here's what I've learned. My responsibility is to stand on and speak on what I believe in my own spiritual walk. It ain't to judge you. Okay? If you out there in Utah and you think it works for you, I'm not coming to your house to be knocking down your door to tell you that you got 100 sister wives, because I don't even understand what all sister wives do. I'm just saying the average person can't handle it anyway. Here's a question for my brothers, and I know this is going to spark some controversy. We always talk about sister wives. How many of you brothers could accept if your wife came home and said, hey, look, I want to get one extra husband to come live with us?
Correct.
What if she came back and said, look, you ain't all that great at taking out the trash. You ain't all that great at spending time with the kids. I want to go get another husband, an extra one, just to help it out. And I'll let you hang out with the fellas sometimes. And you ain't going to hang out with the fellas when the husband brother is at the house sitting around with your wife. So I think you got to accept that we come up with these concepts when it benefits man.
Right.
But if a woman says she want that extra husband, all of a sudden y'all sitting up in your chair, you ain't trying to hear that.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying for right now. Look, people, I know it's a hot topic. We probably going to talk about it Tuesday. I got to get off the air because I ain't got that much time. This has been the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. We're going to holler at y'all on Tuesday. Peace out. Y'all better watch what you're asking for. Because y'all sitting around talking about some sister wives and all that. When she come up and start asking about a brother husband or something like that, y'all gonna be feeling some kind of way, all right? Gotta go, people. Holla at your boy.